Tape 2, Side 2.
This is Making Gay History, and Season 2 is almost here. I'm Eric Marcus, and nearly 3 decades ago, I wrote an oral history of the LGBTQ civil rights movement. Crisscrossing the country, I recorded interviews with 100 people, some well-known, others whose stories had never been told. Last season, I introduced you to some amazing pioneers. For this second season, you'll hear new stories from a dozen more people. People whose stories I captured on cassette tape while we sat at kitchen tables, on front porches, and even in an office above a porn theater. Complex people, sometimes controversial people, and in one case this season, someone I didn't like very much. But one person I loved was Shirley Willer. Her passion to change the world came from heartbreak, from seeing a friend left to die simply because he was gay.
Anybody who calls themselves an American, who believes in any kind of religion, to deliberately allow someone to die or force them into a position where they're going to die, it's unforgivable.
For Hal Call, it was getting fired that changed the course of his life.
He said, we can't have anybody like that working for the Kansas City Star. And I said, well, that may be so, okay, but if you fired all the homosexuals on the Kansas City Star, you wouldn't get the newspaper out. I mean, you couldn't even set the linotype at the time.
You'll hear again from Barbara Gittings and Kay Lahusen, who turned a kissing booth into political theater.
So we called it Hug a Homosexual. And we stripped it down to the bare gray curtains, and we had a sign up, men only at one end and women only at the other, and we stationed ourselves to give free same-sex kisses and hugs. Well, let me tell you, the aisles were jammed, but nobody came into the booth.
Jean O'Leary, a former nun, took gay rights leaders into the White House for the very first time.
You know, before that, all we'd been is picketing. That's the closest we'd ever been able to get to the White House, is picketing the gates outside. But this was real hard breaking news that we had a meeting at the White House.
Sometimes just surviving is a radical act. For Morris Foote, an Idaho newspaper headline about gay men being rounded up and arrested drove him to leave town.
I looked at that and said, is that act illegal? I thought anytime you had sex and privacy, no one would bother you. There was 2 adult men. Here they had the man in jail on a felony warrant. Well, I think I better move out of Boise and not be around there anymore. I don't want to go to the penitentiary.
And Randy Wicker and Marsha P. Johnson, whose methods for securing gay rights couldn't have been more different.
Were you one of those that got in the chorus lines and kicked their heels up at the police? Like Ziegfeld Folly girls?
Oh, no. We were too busy throwing over cars and screaming in the middle of the street.
So that's just a taste of what's coming up over the next 10 weeks as we dive back into the past. I like to think that if we know where we've been, we have a better chance of figuring out where we're going. And right now, we need all the help we can get. Don't forget to subscribe to us on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, or wherever you get your podcasts. And check out makinggayhistory.com, where you can join our mailing list, listen to past episodes, and get a heads up about new episodes and events.
He's running out of tape.
I'm not running out of tape. So many more stories to come. Join us March 2nd for the first episode of Season 2. So long, until next time.